Hey, what's good, family? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope y'all are having a blessed and wonderful day. Um, we're gonna to the topic for this video. I'm gonna jump just right into it. A lot of people have been talking about it for the past couple of days. They were talking about it on First Take on ESPN. Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, and they gave their take, and Stephen A. gave his take on this podcast, whatever you want to call it. So here's my take. And I wanted to wait to speak on this because I knew that there are going to be more than what's being told to this. So over the weekend, Cam Newton, former NFL quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, took them to the Super Bowl 50 back in 2015. Again, they lost to Denver Broncos. Won the Heisman with Auburn back in 2010. Um, phenomenal athlete, Cam Newton. So it was a football camp in Atlanta with two coaches. Well, two coaches that used to be on Cam's C1N football camp or football organization. They left because, and now this is. Let me start out. This is a report that I read in the New York Post. A article that I read in the New York Post. So let me just start there. So this article in the New York Post was reporting that two brothers, TJ and Steph Brown of TSP, they had their own football organization, had their own football camp. They used to be coaches with Cam Newton when he had his organization, which was C1N. They left Cam Newton 2 years ago. Well, yeah, 2022 because of tensions. They couldn't work with Cam, so they left and they started their own thing, which was TSP. Well, TJ said that, yeah, it was TJ. He was saying that in the article that Cam Newton pulled up in the parking lot because and he was like, uh, let's put some money on it. Like let's play let my guys play your guys again. Now, according to TJ, in the article, his team had beat Cam Newton's team 3 or 4 times. And so he was like, man, whatever. It's not that serious. And according to him, Cam Newton said, well, let's put some money on it. Let's bet. And he just said, for just paraphrasing, it's not about money. He said, you want to make everything about money, and it's not that serious. You want to make everything about money, but it's not about money. And he just walked away. So he said, Cam Newton's guys, they were practicing. Cam Newton was yelling down to his guys, and they ran up on their team, the TSP squad, and they beat him again. And so TJ said he was walking up the steps, and Cam Newton grabbed his brother, Steph, grabbed him, whatever, grabbed him. And so he was at the top of the stairs, and that's when the video that we all saw of them tussling. But according to the article, from what TJ told the New York Post in this article, Cam Newton started the fracas. Cam Newton started it by grabbing his brother. And he ran up on the steps and he was trying to get Cam Newton off his brother, and he threw a punch at Cam Newton. So, despite popular opinion, Cam Newton was not breaking up a fight. According to this article, Cam Newton started the fight. He instigated the fight. He grabbed this man's brother, and my man ran up and tried to defend his brother. I would have done the same thing. Y'all would have done the same thing. Now, this is according to this article in the New York Post. Let me be clear about that. This is an article I read in the New York Post. They did not say this from the get-go. They just said what we heard and what we were seeing was Cam Newton got jumped at his football camp and was breaking up a fight between the players. And everybody was like, this is why black people can't have nothing. This is why, Let's get the story right. If this is if the story is even correct. But this shows you that it's more to meets the eye. That Cam Newton was not somebody just jumped on him, which is what was being reported. And the New York Post is a they have a reputation. They have a good reputation, other than other media outlets. I trust the New York Post a little more than I trust other media outlets. The one I trust the most is the Final Call. That's the one I trust the most because they tell the story 1,000% correct. The Final Call. But the New York Post isn't the Final Call, but they're not the New York Times or the Washington Post or these other white liberal media outlets. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. And TJ goes on to say that Cam Newton has talked reckless to players. He's talked reckless to players' parents, and he's talked reckless to other coaches. And all this started was because of trash talk that went too far. It was trash. It started out as trash talk, and it just escalated. And Cam Newton grabbed his, I guess, according to TJ, Cam Newton grabbed his brother. Cam Newton grabbed his brother, and he was walking up the steps, and he saw it because he said Cam Newton looked like he was going to try to throw his brother down the steps. So he ran up the steps and intervened and threw a punch at Cam. Thankfully, from what we know, no one was injured and no arrests were made. And this incident happened in Atlanta. But and people say, well, Cam Newton is known for his philanthropy and he gives back to the community. That's fine. That's fine and dandy. That's cool. You know, that's great. But Cam Newton is not above reproach. A good brother of mine, good dear brother of mine in Atlanta, he is one of my subscribers on my channel. I don't know if he's tuning in or not, um, if he's on here or not, but he can speak to this. He used to be a security at a radio station in Atlanta, and Cam Newton came through there. And so he said Cam Newton was the biggest asshole, that he was just being a grade A asshole to him because he parked somewhere he wasn't supposed to park. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was over parking issues, which security, we don't have any say on where you can and can't park. We can just advise you, hey, you shouldn't park there. You can get your car towed, whatever. But we don't write tickets. We're not responsible for parking. That's above our pay grade. A lot of people in security, most people in security, that's above their pay grade. They don't handle parking. But he advised Cam Newton, hey, about parking. And so I believe it was about parking. And he said Cam Newton was just gave him an attitude, was just a grade A asshole. So I believe these guys are telling the truth. And like I said a few seconds ago, he said Cam Newton have been known to talk down to parents and the players, as well to other coaches. That sense of entitlement. I'm a pro NFL star. I can, talk to you, treat you any kind of way. No, you cannot. No, no, sir. I don't give a damn if you 6'6", 260, all muscle. Ain't nobody above reproach. Nobody's above ass whipping. And people's like, it's crazy to try to fight Cam Newton. Like these guys just picked a fight with Cam Newton. There's always more to the story than what's being told. That's why I wanted to wait to speak on this. I wanted to see what really was going on. Because we all know there's two sides to every story. I think these guys are telling the truth because, like I said, my good dear brother told me how Cam Newton gave him attitude at his at when he told him when he was doing security at this radio station. He told me how Cam Newton was being an asshole to him. So it's not out the norm, or it shouldn't be hard to believe that Cam Newton was being an asshole in this incident here. Why? Why? Because he's an athlete. And see, this is the problem I have with us now. Far too many of our people. We love to hero worship. We think these heroes can't do wrong. This is why I cannot stand most LeBron James fans because they think that LeBron James can do no wrong. Shannon Sharp, for one, is the main one. And I know other people. They think LeBron James can do no wrong. LeBron James, they think he is God Almighty. He can't do anything wrong. They you still have people now with Michael Jordan, especially when it comes to his beef with Isaiah and the Pistons. That's still going on, even though everybody's in their 60s now and are old. But you still, well, Jordan beat Isaiah's ass. Isaiah was wrong. No, no, no. Isaiah didn't do a press conference with his coach and speak bad about a team and the city. Michael Jordan did that. Phil Jackson did that. If you don't believe me, go to the video. Game after game three of the Eastern Conference Finals and the 90 game after game three of the 1991 Eastern Conference Finals, Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson, after they went up 3-0 against the Pistons, did a press conference besmirching the character of the Pistons, the organization, the city of Detroit. They touched on this on the Last Dance documentary. And ironically enough, Michael Jordan's former teammates are besmirching his character. Horace Grant, Luke Longley, and Scottie Pippen. Hmm. Isaiah's teammates ain't doing that. Joe Dumars isn't doing it. Dennis Rodman, Mark Aguirre, John Sally, James Edwards, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer. They're not doing that to Isaiah. The only one that was Adrian Dantley, but that was because of Adrian Dantley was a prima donna and wanted and thought he should lead the Pistons because he was an older veteran. But that's neither here or there. That's another topic for another day. But far too many people put these athletes on pedestals. They do it with Beyonce, her Beehive cult. That cult, they put her on a pedestal. She could do no wrong. Michael Jordan could do no wrong. His followers, LeBron disciples. To them, LeBron could do no wrong. Everything they do is right, and it's sickening. These people are human beings. Like I said, my good dear brother, and I don't know if he's tuning in or not, but he told me many times how Cam Newton was an asshole to him, how he was a grade A asshole to him. And that turned him off. He said, man, F Cam Newton. Because he thought, he could just have this attitude. I'm a big bad athlete, a former athlete. Well, I think when they had the encounter, he was still playing in the NFL. But because I'm an athlete, I'm an NFL star. I could just talk down to you or just, have an attitude. Dude, no. If you're wrong, you're wrong, brother. If just accept it. We all are wrong at some point in our life. It's part of life. But he was being an asshole to my good dear brother. And I believe what these men are saying in this article. Because, like I said, my dear good brother told a story about how Cam Newton was an asshole to him. and I believe it was over parking. I believe that was. I think it was over parking, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, come on. And you put your hands on the man. Of course, his brother gonna jump in. If that was my brother, I would have jumped in. A lot of y'all would have done the same thing. You're not gonna win every fight, but at least you fighting. At least you fight. To fight Cam Newton is just crazy. Like these guys pick the fight with Cam Newton. When according to this article, Cam Newton took it to a whole nother level. There was trash talking on both sides. It escalated, and Cam Newton grabbed this guy, grabbed this one of these brothers, according to this article. So it wasn't Cam Newton just breaking up a fight. And I knew it was more to this than what was being told. It always is. It always is. But thankfully, no one was hurt. But it is embarrassing because it just show you that some black people, some of our people just cannot work together and cannot resolve conflict, don't know conflict resolution. They can't resolve conflicts peacefully. You trash talking, all right, whatever, man. All right. Hey, you know what? No harm, no foul, good game. I wish you the best. And just move on. We have got to learn conflict resolution in our community. That's what our embarrassment of this comes in at. Because that shouldn't have happened. No one should have put hands on anybody. That should not have happened. Over of kids playing football, over trash talking. Why did it have to come to that? Just resolve it peacefully and move the hell on. Why do y'all have to resort to fist fighting? And I'm glad it didn't get the gunfire. Thank Allah it didn't get to that. But grown men fighting, it's like it's no good and bad. It's just embarrassing because it goes to conflict resolution. Why are we putting hands on each other? Thankfully, it didn't escalate to gunfire. Thank God. No one was stabbed or shot. Thank Allah for that. But the fact that y'all on video, Cam Newton swinging a guy around and another guy coming and punching him, it's like, and from the article, it states why that happened, but it shouldn't even came to that because if this is true, Cam Newton should have kept his hands to himself. Why are you grabbing somebody? Keep your hands to yourself. Man, you're 6'6", 260 pounds of pure muscle. Keep your damn hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Why you feel the need to put your hands on somebody, to grab somebody? And then the man, yeah, he see you grabbing his brother. Of course he gonna come and swing and throw some punches. I would have done the same thing. I probably would have caught that fade, but at the end of the day, you fight. You defend your loved one. But it should not have to have come to that. It should not have it should not have came to that. Should not have came to that. Keep your hands to yourself. Talk your junk and move on. Damn. It's embarrassing. That's where it's embarrassing because it's silly. It's silly. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. But thankfully, no one was injured as far as what we know, and no arrests were made. So I guess all is well that ends well. But it shouldn't have came to people putting their hands on each other. It should not have came, not even came to that. and it's at an event for young men. What are we teaching our young men? We need to be teaching them conflict resolution. Cam Newton, you're the big voice. You're the multimillionaire, former football star, former NFL star. Set the example. Set the example, man. These are young men that look up to you. A lot of them don't have fathers. You're what they from what they know. You're being a positive male role model. You're a male role model to a lot of them. You're a father to a lot of them because a lot of them don't have fathers. So you kind of are like a father figure. You being a coach. Set the example. What lessons are you teaching these young men? Set the example because these young men are looking for you for guidance, looking to you for guidance. So it's imperative that you set the example. And the brothers, y'all, the two, TJ and Steph Brown, the Brown brothers, y'all set the example. These young men are looking up to y'all too as male role models, as father figures. Y'all need to set the example. So at the end of the day, it's embarrassing. It's no good guy, bad guy. It's just embarrassing at the end of the day. And Cam Newton is not the hero of the story. I'm sorry. Because he's a former NFL star, and no, he's not the hero in the story. And I know that he's done a lot of he's done a lot of philanthropic work in Charlotte and in the Charlotte area because he played for Carolina Panthers. But that still doesn't mean he's beyond reproach. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And we've all been wrong at some point in our lives, and we all will be again soon. It's part of life. It's part of maturing. It's part of learning. With that being said, I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Like I said in my last video, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. That's what Cam Newton and these guys should have learned. Agree to disagree without being disagreeable, because that didn't have to happen. All that did not have to happen. That could have been avoided, easily avoided, easily avoided. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Please, let's do that. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Let's have a conversation. Support my YouTube channel and support my podcast. Our brother needs your love and support. I can't do these without y'all. So please, please, please support your brother. The YouTube channel and the podcast. Um, just thank y'all, and y'all be safe, man. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe. Beware and be aware, because the devil is busy now more than ever before. So please beware and be aware. So next time, I love y'all. Take care. Thank you for your love and support. I really do. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.